Hi, it's Claire from Fandemonium Network.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm alright, thank you very much.
Enjoying the sunshine?
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness for it, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think if we were all stuck inside and the weather was miserable, it would...
Can you imagine?
At least we've been able to get out and, you know...
Yeah.
I've been spending all my time in the garden.
Oh yeah, me too. And I feel quite guilty about having one. So I'm like, I've just been at home in the garden. Actually having quite a lovely time.
Yeah. I've started a vegetable garden, so...
Have you?
Yeah. It's been...
I have to admit, actually, I've taken up gardening as well.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes, it's brilliant.
It's that joy of seeing it growing and thinking, oh yeah, that's going to be something soon. At least it is for me.
Totally. Like my mum gave me some plants actually because she's a great gardener. So I sort of feel like I've cheated a little bit because I haven't done anything from seeds, but like I haven't killed them and there's flowers and stuff.
That's great. What more could you ask for?
They're going upwards, so I feel it's very satisfying. I have no idea.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's been one of the things that's kept me going over the last however long it's been.
Oh, how long?
I've lost track now. 3 months ish.
Oh, it's long. Yeah, I mean I was on a film that was due to start shooting, and we basically went on what we've called hiatus. It was about a week or 2 weeks before actual lockdown, so the film industry kind of shut down quite early on.
Right.
I think because, ultimately there's a lot of money at stake in the industry. Definitely. And to shoot anything is hundreds of people and often in a room or a house or if you're lucky in a field, but if you're in a field then it's likely that there's thousands of people in the field with you. So they were really quick off the mark, and it was so it's kind of even we were due to start filming 4 days after we went on hiatus. I was ready to go. So it's been a bit odd from that point of view. But
yeah.
I think also I've not stopped for 3 years. I've kind of done projects back to back.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to kind of go, it's okay.
Yeah.
You need this. Enjoy it because it's never going to happen again. Also, you've got to make up for this time, so you might as well enjoy it rather than being having to work really hard to make up for some time that you've just been stressed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
must be hard though if you were about to start a new project and you've put all the work in and everything's ready to go, for it then to just stop and you have no idea of when you're going to go back to it.
Yeah.
Have they given you any indication of when you might pick up again?
No, I mean we're chatting, as much as we can, and I know that they're trying to kind of look at the script and see if there's anything that can happen there. But I mean the story that we were telling is the story of 2 Syrian refugees who flee Syria and travel to Berlin. And it's their journey across Europe and across the Aegean, and the nature of that story is hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people in a tiny, tiny space moving across the world, basically.
Yeah.
So it's quite an unusual, narrative to try and imagine happening at this time. So, and it's such an incredible story, and with an amazing director for a great studio. It was really exciting, and I really hope we can pick it up safely soon, because I think it's a story that needs to be told.
Have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm allowed to say what it is, I'll let you know. But
that would be great.
So have you been working from home the whole time?
Yes, yeah. I have. Yeah. I mean, the website that I work for, it's a labour of love. We're building it up. It's starting through YouTube and that kind of thing to make a little bit of money that's being used to support us a little bit. But yeah, we're still growing. It seems our followers have a thirst for The Last Kingdom, which we've just tapped into. So we didn't know beforehand, but a group of us, having watched the 4th season, sat down and did a little sort of round table distanced, obviously, we did it over the internet, had a bit of a chat about it and some of the themes. And one of my friends who was involved actually does some work with Mark Rowley and Arnis. And he said, why don't you try talking to them? So I thought, yeah, okay. So I had a chat with the guys and they were absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's just taken off. So I thought, who else could I talk to? Who else would be really interesting? And I thought, costumes, that's the one. Because that makes or breaks a historical show for me. And I know for a lot of people that the costumes are such a big part of it, getting it as authentic as possible. What are some of the challenges of working on a show like The Last Kingdom as a costume designer?
That's a really great question, actually, because I think it's something that we really... Struggle's not the right word, but it's definitely, there's a lot to take into consideration, because of the physicality of what we're doing and the safety of the actors, most paramount. So, obviously it would be great if we could use, boots that didn't have any grip and that had completely, leather soles and real chainmail and helmets and things like that. But the reality of these guys filming, all day for months and months on end. In, season 3, we filmed in the winter and it was minus 14, and then in season 4 we filmed in the summer and it was kind of 40 degrees. So, neither of those are great temperatures.
No.
Let alone for the kinds of things that, that we do have to wear. There's lots of wools and those kind of natural fabrics, and also, the layering for me is really important. So they're never just in one thing. Women can't have their arms out, and all of these kind of things to take into consideration with the actual climate that we're filming in, and whether it's bearable to do so is, that's something that's quite a constant challenge, actually.
How much research is involved in working on a historical piece like The Last Kingdom?
Loads. Loads. So it's a very interesting period of time because obviously there's a lot of artifacts and then, there's a lot of theory based around things that have been found, but there aren't photographs to look at. There are drawings, but they're very simple, and I think ultimately we're making a dramatic show, so we need to find the line between what looks great on camera, what's safe and possible to endure for months on end, and what looks believable. And I think I think we do it on Last Kingdom. I think we kind of, we create quite a believable world, I think, because everything's quite raw and gritty, and
absolutely.
We break everything down a lot, give it a lot of life. If something happens, then it has an impact on the clothing. So I think that sort of all helps with the realism.
Okay. Interesting. I saw you talking, I think it was a video on Instagram, about the breaking down of the costumes, and that was really interesting. How to get that authenticity of, sword strikes on armour and that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the breakdown team's amazing. I've worked with Daryl our head of breakdown for 2 years, and on both seasons that I've designed, and he's such an artist. It's so amazing to kind of see how his brain works and what he thinks, and to apply that to the fabrics. And, ultimately we give him beautifully handmade, brand new things, and he works his magic, and then it also stops things looking contemporary, I think, as well.
Yeah, I love the comparison you put up on Instagram of Finnan's costume with the brand new sort of freshly made version, and then the broken down version that we saw on the show. The difference was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, leather's really lovely to work with because you can kind of mould it and shape it, and it ages really well. And, from when the guys put it on at the beginning of the series to when they take it off at the end, it's completely changed shape and colour. And it's interesting because we have to kind of, at the very beginning we have to sort of predict what it will do with that much life, but it's very difficult to predict, exactly what's going to happen when you're on a horse for that period of time, and where things start to move and bend, I suppose. Yeah,
that's definitely not something I would have considered. When you look at costumes and you think, yeah, okay, they're just wearing it, but then when you have to factor in all of that movement and interesting. So what, I mean, that's
sorry. I was just going to say that's something that kind of is a really complimentary thing to hear, because I think if you watch something and you notice the costumes, then that might be because they're not they're not sitting back with the characters and the world, and they're kind of jumping out. So I think if you just think, oh, that's just what they wear, then that's really successful for my team to kind of hear, because it means that the character's really believable.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's anything I would have gone, no, that doesn't look right at all. Everything just seems to fit in the world that has been created in the show. So yeah. You say you like working with leather. Do you have any other particular favourite fabrics or combinations of fabrics that you like to work with?
Actually, on Last Kingdom we have a dyer, and we dye pretty much everything, because natural fabrics are more believable, and then we can kind of dye something quite specifically that works with the lighting and the set and the action and stuff. So actually working with natural fabrics is probably an all-encompassing favourite answer, because you can add colour, strip colour, they take life very well. And I think that's what I really enjoy. Like, if you look at Skade's costume in Series 3 or Edith's in 4, then, I think they're kind of girls who get down and get down with the world. And you can see the life in their costume. It's really exciting to watch it happen.
Yeah. Is there one fabric that or material that you think, nope, don't want to play with that one? Is there one that just drives you mad whenever you have to incorporate it into a costume?
Yes, I mean, PVC is really difficult to work with, because it's just not as compliant as you'd like it to be. But also super light fabrics are quite difficult as well, so chiffons, and it's quite difficult to get them to behave.
Yeah.
But really, if you're trying to put two different fabrics together, then sometimes they fight with each other and you don't really know until it's happening. So it's always kind of organic and learning and frustrating and problem solving.
Who's been your favourite characters in The Last Kingdom to design for?
Oh, that's such a tricky question. because there's been so many. I mean, over 2 seasons, I've probably done over 100 main character costumes, you know, with people who come in for one episode or one scene even, plus all of the amazing supporting cast and the stuntmen and, you know, added to that. So there's quite a lot to choose from. But I love designing for Ethelflaed. I think because in, you know, day to day, it's quite male heavy, which is an understatement. And it's very, you know, it's very practical and it's very battle heavy. And then every now and again, I get to kind of sit down and design something so beautiful for Millie, who just is so incredible. And, you know, she's got the most incredible stature. You know, designing her kind of flower festival outfit was really fun.
That was beautiful.
I
absolutely loved that.
I know, we were like, can we do a spin-off episode, which is just the flower festival? Because, like, with all the little kids, we did. So I spoke to the production designer, and we went to a florist together. So all of the kind of set dressing of all of the garlands and the vegetables and the flowers and things, and the trays of vegetables, I then asked them to make headbands for us that went with that, so it all looked as one. And it was so lovely. We had all of these, you know, they were real flowers and berries and things, and they were kind of in any fridge that we could find, because it was so hot. But to have all the kids and all, you know, it was great to do a scene with so many ladies as well. You know, that was really fun for us. So I love that. It was quite girl power.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I've noticed is on some of the fan groups and online, we have a growing group of cosplayers looking to do some Last Kingdom costumes, including myself, I have to admit.
I can't wait!
My best friend and I are fighting over who gets to do Ethelflaed. I think I've won at the moment, so we shall wait and see. Do you have any advice for them? Because obviously most of us, we're doing this on our own in our spare time with what we can get hold of. We don't have a costume department behind us, so...
I mean, I you know, the cosplay world is so incredible. I think what you guys all do is really cool, and it's quite breathtaking to see, you know, your work re-realized by someone. It's really amazing. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you. And, you know, are you, are you doing Lady Ethelflaed or Warrior Ethelflaed?
I was going to go with Warrior Ethelflaed.
Yay! I loved designing that. That was really cool. That was really fun to do, because again, you know, Millie's so great. Her character's so incredible, and I think she inhabits it so well. So I think really colour is probably the most important thing, actually. I think if you can try and kind of get close to the colours and then look at the shapes quite simply, I think that's probably a way to maybe not get too overwhelmed.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even myself, you know, when I have to start a new costume from scratch, you're kind of going, oh my God, there's so many layers, so I need to do this, and scabbards and belts and buckles and jewellery and shoes, and I'll go and have a tea and procrastinate for a bit. So I think try and kind of really break it down. Like, what I do quite often is I'll write a list of what I need to do, and it makes it a little bit less overwhelming and a bit more achievable. I really like to tick things off.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably quite a good way to approach it. Okay. And you know, there's some great fabrics out there as well. You know, the internet's actually amazing for buying fabrics. even when you can't physically get out there. So that's probably my top recommendation.
Sounds good. Is there one costume you can think of that you would be happy to wear, that you would like to wear?
That's a great question. That's such a cool question. And a really hard answer. Actually, do you know what? I would love elf-led dresses are so beautiful. Everything's handmade by my incredible team in Hungary, and the talent of everybody involved in the costume department is just, I'm so lucky and grateful. And elf-led dresses are really special because they don't, she appears in the palace, and she's never riding, she's never fighting, but they have quite an important job to do to tell the story of, her and Ethelhelm and Ethelhelm's goals and his kind of opulence, and that he puts, kind of the money side of it, I suppose. And her gowns and dresses are just so stunning. We made a red one for her coronation, and honestly, it's the most beautiful. I'll post a couple of pictures actually of elf-led, because I haven't done that, and you guys can kind of see that. So, and for me as well, I started training back in the 90s as a fashion designer, so it's the one thing that kind of lets me fantasize a bit that's what I'm doing. That's not what I wanted to do, but it's kind of nice. It's nice that I get to do something different within one show. It's kind of amazing.
Okay. Yeah, those dresses. I'm just thinking back, trying to. I haven't watched the show in a couple of weeks, so unlike some others who were on their sort of fourth and fifth binges through, it's fantastic. There's such a great community for this show. Elfled's dresses were probably the ones I would like to wear day to day. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, also, I think Ethelfled's armour, I'd be quite into wearing that.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. If I manage to make that one and it looks halfway decent, I think I may wear it to a lot of events.
I can't wait to see. That's so exciting. The detail on her cuirass on the top part is a mirror of. I made this very kind of structured coat for her. The first time we saw her in series 3, when she arrives at the battle with the Mercian army, and I remade that this season in a green. But her armour comes from that as well. So there's a little bit of detail there that you can kind of pick out.
I'm storing all of this away for later.
And also, the community, the Last Kingdom fan community is so positive and engaging, and it's a real pleasure to be involved, because it's such a lovely place to be, and it's I know I've just said it, but it's so positive, and I think why not? Things are tricky, so let's be super nice to each other, and doesn't that feel great,
Yeah. And it's always so great to see people spreading the love as well. I know a lot of Assassin's Creed fans have started to discover the show because of Magnus Brun being in the game that's coming out later this year.
Cool.
And I'm in fan groups for Assassin's Creed as well, and watching the cross. And I mean, some of them have turned out his costume from the game trailer in the space of 3 weeks with just snippets to work on. And it's amazing. Absolutely incredible to see this crossover as well.
So cool. It's so cool.
I have one final question, and it's rather a cheeky one, but I sort of opened up to some groups of friends who watched the show, and the one thing several of our female fans have come back and would like to know is, why did Citrix costume have sleeves this season?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Wow, you hadn't even thought about that. Do you know what? We gave Citrix and Finnan both had new armour this year. We felt that when they'd been away spying on Bebemba and they come back to Cookham, they were a total mess when they got off the boat drunk. And, you know, we all kind of chatted and decided that maybe Uhtred, you know, sorted them out a little bit. So they had some new armour for, you know, that's the way that we could give them the new armour for the beginning of the series. And yeah, to be honest, I didn't think about that, and I apologise. Is that enough? Is that okay? Do you know what? Sometimes it's also to do with hiding stump pads and things like that. Sometimes, but he was just in short sleeves the whole time. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll pass on your apologies to various people.
Is Uhtred being baptised not a fair?
Well, I didn't think to bring that up, since that wasn't really a costume.
No, but do I pay off with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can probably call that a good balance. I've seen a lot of people asking when Finnan and Citrix are going to get baptised as well, so I think that's a question for another day. But Finnan's already a good Christian boy, so I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, I don't know if you can turn Citrix.
No, I don't think so.
You know, when you think about who his father is, I think he's very much a Dane.
Yeah.
It would, yeah.
Oh well, never mind.
Great question, though. I had no idea.
Yes, there's a fairly large following for Citrix and Finnan. Actually, they've both got quite large fan groups of their own. So we do like Uhtred and his pretty boys.
Exactly. Oh, they're such angels. Such angels.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me and indulging that very silly last question.
Not at all.
And I'll look forward to seeing the pictures of Aelfled when you put those up.
Yeah, I've got some more to pop up, so I'll do that later in the week.
Yeah, brilliant. I shall look forward to it. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much, Claire. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.